Yo, what is going on? This is Kavota here, and today I have a little video showcasing you guys 10 of the best current farms in First Descendant. 7 of these are going to be targeting things like Kuiper, Gold, and mods that you can disassemble into Kuiper, and the other 3 are going to be targeting other materials and XP, but we'll get into that later. So these first 7 are actually ranked in order from my personal favorite and what I think is the most efficient to the least. Not to say any of these are bad farms, but there are some that I think are a little less enjoyable than others and a little more frustrating to deal with than others. With that being said, let's get right into the first one, being my personal favorite. We have the Sterile Land Kuiper Mine Mission. Now, this mission is going to be giving you about 20,000 Kuiper every 6 minutes. That averages out to about 200,000 Kuiper an hour. Now, this is a mission I would recommend doing solo just for the sake of a random can definitely come in here and complete this mission early and kind of ruin the farm for you. So it's a lot more efficient to me to just do it solo and not have to worry about what other people are doing. Other than that, this mission is going to be very straightforward. You're going to start it, enter the cave, kill all the enemies, head to the middle, activate this terminal here, and now for the next 5 minutes, all you're going to do here is just stand in the middle, pop your 3 on Bunny, and just roll around. You're going to be killing all the enemies around here every now and then, maybe every minute or so. Run around, grab your Kuiper so it doesn't despawn, and that's just going to be a rinse and repeat for the next 5 minutes. You're going to fail the mission and then just go restart it, and this is all you're going to do. This is a very boring mission. I like this for when I'm trying to watch a TV show or something on the side and I just need something I can kind of not pay attention to. This is a very efficient one. It can be pretty boring though, but as far as multitasking, it's my favorite one. In our number 2 spot, as far as interactive missions go, this is my personal favorite. This is going to be the White Knight Gulch water cooling mission. This mission is going to net you about 13,000 to 15,000 Kuiper every 4 minutes. That's going to average out to about 225,000 Kuiper per hour. Now, this is also another mission you're going to want to run in single player, or in a private match, I should say. Reason being, this is another mission where randoms can come and screw up the whole farm for you, and this one's actually a lot more frustrating than them completing it, because if you get this set up, it can be pretty annoying to have a random come in, and then if they don't leave the mission, you got to restart the area. Save yourself the headache, run it private. So this one is going to have a little bit of a setup to it. So what you're going to do is start the mission and head over to A. You're going to activate A and then let the first wave of enemies spawn in, and do not kill them right away. About 3 or 4 of the enemies from that group are actually going to head over to the point, and the rest are going to attack you. You want those 3 or 4 enemies to get onto the point and contest it to let the mission timer run down. After they've contested it, you can run around, kill all the other enemies. There's going to be 2 main spawn points here. It's going to be down this cave on the left-hand side and then in this open area to the right. There's also going to be some enemies spawning up on the ledge there, but you don't have to worry about those. I usually don't pay them any attention and just head for the main 2 spawns. You're going to let the mission timer run down, and you're going to fail the mission, and it's just going to be a rinse and repeat just like the last one was. All right, and then in our number 3 spot here, we have the Echo Swamp Abandoned Refinery mission. Now, this mission here is going to be landing you about 2,000 to 3,000 Kuiper every minute or so. That's going to average out to about 180,000 to 200,000 per hour. This one can be pretty inconsistent, but it's still a great mission to run. Now, this one you can absolutely do it on public. I would recommend actually doing it on public because it can go a lot faster the more people you have killing enemies, because this is an exterminate mission. So you're just going to start the mission, run around, kill everything, clear everything out of these tunnels, and then in one of the caves at the bottom here, there's going to be 2 yellow bars that spawn up. You're going to kill them, get all your loot, restart the mission. Now, the nice thing about these exterminate missions in public match is a lot of the times there's somebody who's AFK next to the mission start point. As soon as you complete the mission, they're just going to restart it, so you don't have to run all the way back there. You can just start killing enemies right away as soon as you complete the mission, which is really nice, and it speeds up this farm a lot to the point where you're going to start pushing over 200k an hour if you do have somebody doing that. And that's actually going to bring us right into my number 4 spot here, which is the Sterile Land Ambush Point farm. Everybody knows this one. It's been in the game for ages now. It's going to be about the same stats, 2,000 to 3,000 every minute, 180,000 to 200,000 per hour. Very similar. Start the mission, run around in a circle, kill all the enemies, kill the yellow bar that spawns at the end. This is also going to be a great one if you have somebody AFKing the mission start point again, because it's going to speed it up quite a bit here. And that's actually going to bring us here into my number 5 spot, which is another exterminate mission. This one's called Surveillance Radar. This is located over in Kingston. Very similar results from what I've ran so far: 2,000 to 3,000 a minute, 180k to 200k per hour. This is another exterminate, so all you're going to do, start the mission, run around, kill all the enemies. Yellow bar is going to spawn, you're going to kill it. Now this one definitely has to have a little bit of word of mouth, I guess, to get public matches going on this one. This is actually a mission that I saw recommended on TikTok. I can't remember by who for the life of me, but I don't think a lot of people know about it. I haven't really been seeing many people running this in a public match, but I think if more people find out about it, they'll start running it, just for the sake of, it's a change of scenery from the other two, and I think exterminate missions specifically can get very boring. Not saying farming Kuiper in general is enjoyable at all. They're usually very boring and repetitive missions. I do think that we're going to see more people showing up here pretty soon, so this is definitely a good one to get on top of too if you just want to change the scenery from running the Echo Swamp or Sterile Land. Okay, and then in my number 6 spot here, I have the White Knight Gulch Fortress Outskirts mission. Now this one's going to be giving you around 13,000 Kuiper every 4 minutes or so. Now that's going to average out to about 195,000 per hour. The reason this one's ranked the lowest for me out of any of these mission farms is that I don't like running this one solo or in public. Now they both have their pros and cons. So running it solo, it's going to slow down the beginning of the mission for you a little bit, because you have the 4 terminals here that you have to activate yourself. They each have their annoying little animation you have to do, and there's 4 of them, which goes a lot faster in a public mission if you have 2, 3, 4 people doing this. So it definitely slows down the beginning of the mission for a bit, but running it solo is nice, and if I'm going to run this, my personal favorite way to do it, because as soon as you see 1 or 2 of these terminals complete, you're going to want to abandon the mission and restart it. Reason being, as soon as one of these completes, it's going to stop spawning enemies, which is going to slow down the farm quite a bit. So there's no reason in actually completing this mission. That's actually the reason I don't like running this public. Yes, it speeds up the beginning of the mission there, but what I've noticed is a lot of people don't abandon the mission after the first or second terminal complete. They want to do the mission all the way through. Now that's going to add about a minute or so onto your runtime. And during that minute, you're also going to be getting significantly less Kuiper because there's going to be less enemies spawning. So I would say run this solo, abandon the mission as soon as 1 or 2 of those complete, and it's going to speed up this farm even quicker than what I originally had stated, because when I was getting all the numbers for this, I ran it in public. So realistically, you could probably be getting 12, 13k every 3 minutes or so, which is going to bump up the overall stats there. So this could be the best one as far as numbers wise, but I personally just don't like the mission, so I don't run it a lot. All of these are great farms though, so it's completely up to you. Okay, and then here at our number 7 spot, we actually have the best Kuiper farm in the game, hands down, 110%. Reason I ranked this one so low is because you need code analyzers or code breakers to do it. Now, if you're just going through playing the game in different areas and whatnot, killing a bunch of enemies, you are going to have a lot of these accumulated. But once you run out of these, you're not going to have any more to do this farm. So you got to go back out there and get more of the code breakers and code analyzers. Code breakers are for hard mode, code analyzers are for normal mode. So this is something you can actually do in either mode. Hard mode is obviously going to land you a lot more Kuiper, but you are going to have the normal mode ones to burn through, so you might as well use them. Now, this is another farm you're going to want to do in solo, and you're going to want to have Enzo preferable. This is doable on other characters, but it's going to make it a lot more difficult. What you're going to do is head over to the Mirage Stone Tactical Transporter. You're going to spawn in and immediately hit a scan. There's going to be 1 spawn point straight in front of you from the direction you spawn in, and there's going to be 3 right off the cliff behind you. 9 times out of 10, one of those 4 spawns is going to ping with a vault. You're going to head over to the vault, crack it, and then after you crack it, you're going to reset the area. So meaning you're going to teleport to somewhere else on the map outside of the Mirage Stone area and then teleport back. This is going to reset the area and respawn another vault for you. Now, there is some instances, I've noticed it about once out of every 15 runs, I don't get a ping off spawn. If that happens, just reset the area again. Don't waste time running around the area looking for a vault. It's not worth it. It's going to save you a lot of time if you just go ahead and reset the area. Now this one, this farm's a little difficult to gauge because you could be getting ultra precisions, which are the purple ones, or you could be getting blues. Now on hard mode, the blues give you about 25,000 Kuiper per, and the ultra precisions give you around like 60-70. So if you're getting a bunch of purples, that's great. You're going to be getting insane amounts. Blues are going to be quite a bit less, but still very good. And the white vaults actually don't give you anything. They only give you the material out of it. So if you just want Kuiper and you don't care about farming the area specific material out of these vaults, I definitely recommend doing this. It's going to be super quick, especially if you have a lot of these saved up. It's a really good farm to do. You just need to have these code breakers or code analyzers depending on the mode. Okay, now on to our 8th farm. We're stepping away from the Kuiper focused ones and we're going into Outpost farms. This is another thing you're going to want to do on single player. Reason being, you're going to be farming one of these missions about every 20 to 30 seconds. Having a random come up and actually complete the mission is going to completely break this for you, and you're going to have to wait the timer or area hop until you can get a reset cooldown timer on this. So like I said, you can do this on any outpost in the game. You're going to head over to the outpost, kill all the consoles, destroy them or whatever, and get that yellow bar to spawn in. The way I like to do this is weaken the yellow bar enemy till it's about like 10% health or so. Then you're going to head outside of the area where you get the mission failure countdown timer at the top of your screen. And as soon as you see that timer hit 0 seconds, you're going to finish the kill on the yellow bar. Now this is going to kill the enemy, but also fail the mission at the same time. So you're going to get the loot drops, but the game also thinks you didn't complete the outpost. So you're going to be able to run right back into the area and restart it. This is going to be giving you a chance at whatever material you're trying to get from that outpost every 30 seconds or so. This is the best way to farm these by far. It's not worth trying to hop around the areas. As soon as you can get the timing down, it took me a little bit to figure out, you know, the timing as to when to shoot when I see 0 seconds at the top of the screen. But as soon as you can get that down, this farm is absolutely amazing for target farming any materials you need out of outposts. All right, next up here in the number 9 spot, we have another target farm for a specific material. This is going to be for polyatomic ion particles. This is going to be the Fortress Command Relay mission. And now this mission type is barrier deactivation. I use this one specifically because it's the one I found. This is actually something I stumbled across while playing, but I do know other of these barrier deactivation missions also drop specific materials that you need for different blueprints. And the specific material is actually what you need for energy activators. What you're going to do is you're going to head over to this mission in Fortress. You're going to start the mission, head inside of the barrier deactivation area. I play Bunny. Most people play Bunny when they're farming, so you're going to pop your 3, run around, kill all the enemies, basically. After about 10 or 15 seconds, you're going to get a yellow bar spawn in. Now, when you kill this enemy, he has a very high chance to drop these polyatomic ion particles. Soon as you kill him, hit pause, abandon the mission. You're going to want to go back to the start, and you're just going to rinse and repeat this. You're going to be getting a kill on a yellow bar that has a chance to drop these ion particles about every 20-30 seconds or so. This is going to be the fastest way to do it. Reason I don't recommend completing the mission is there's 3 yellow bars that usually spawn in these barrier deactivation missions. The first one spawns very soon after you start the mission, and each one after that has an increased amount of enemies that you need to kill for the next one to spawn. So it's a lot faster just killing the first one and abandoning the mission than it is playing the entire mission out. Okay, now for the last one here, this is almost solely an XP farm. It gives you a little bit of gold and some void fragments that you can go use for one of the void, what are they called? The void fusion reactors to spawn in a boss and get a red mod. But this specific mission itself is the void mission, in Fallen Ark of the Fortress. This is going to be almost entirely solely for XP, but it is an amazing XP farm. If you don't care about farming for other materials like Kuiper, gold, mods, whatnot, this is an amazing farm if you just want to do some quick leveling. Maybe you just, I always say prestige, maybe you just prestige like a weapon or a Descendant, and you just need those first couple levels out of the way before you start heading into some other more difficult content to level. This mission is going to give you the most XP the fastest. Now, it is a very boring one to do. All you're going to do, spawn into Fallen Ark, head over to the Void Fragment mission. You're going to be in this little cave, preferably on Bunny, obviously Bunny or Sharon. You need to do electric damage. Stand in the cave, roll around. You're going to be completing this mission about every like 30-40 seconds. It's going to give you a ton of XP, and you're going to be getting shards non-stop. Like I said, you can go use these shards on that reactor to spawn in the boss and get a chance at Backdraft, which I believe is a Blair mod. So this is a really good way to farm him or farm that mod as well. Other than that, this mission isn't used for much else. It's just another thing I saw on my timeline and decided to throw it in the video because I tested it out for myself. I was getting a ton of XP for my Thunder Cage that I had just prestiged. Like I said, outside of that, not an amazing farm for any materials or anything like that. So that wraps it up for today's video. If you guys learned anything or this video was helpful at all, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be working on bringing out a lot of other Descendant content for you guys. Gonna be working on some build videos and whatnot. Also, I've been streaming a lot more, so go ahead and follow the Twitch if you'd like. I would really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Y'all have a great day, and until next time.